Hello beautiful people, welcome into Starlight, Starbright, Oracle and Tarot. Wishing you all love, light and good fortune for today and every day. I just want to make a note that this is a divinely protected space, and all dark energy wishing ill will and harm will be rebuked and is rebuked and sent back to sender in the name of the Almighty Creator and all, who I owe everything I am and have to. Blessed. Okay, so this reading is about the solar eclipse and the new moon in Libra and what it's going to mean for you. I received a few downloads that I wrote down and a few guided messages. What this means for all of us right now is that true justice prevails when the full truth is revealed. And the full truth with new moon in Libra is that balanced view, seeing both sides and then weighing up within yourself, through your intuition, through your mind, body and soul, what is the truth for yourself and for others or for a given situation. It's not a time for judgment, it's not for us to judge, it's for us to have a balanced point of view. So with the solar eclipse in the new moon in Libra, it creates a spark of energy between the moon and the sun, and the solar eclipses hold all that energy and potential of a new moon, but it's amplified. So whatever practice that you have for a new moon, which is generally starting new projects or beginning again in some way, like every moment is a chance to do it right. So this is a very powerful time in order to get things right within yourself, to know your truth, a truth that you don't have to convince anyone of, because it's the truth and that's it. So the veil between the subconscious and the conscious mind is being lowered. And this is also part of the 2024 as well. It's very much the veils are being lifted and truths are coming out. But sometimes the truth is so confused, especially in the media, that we don't know what is true and what isn't. And this is why we need to take that opportunity to calm ourselves, to release our negativity, to release our judgments, to look at a balanced point of view and trust your intuition on a subject or within yourself. So it can also stir up issues around how people can be found within dramatic division, how people and why people are at odds with one another. Maybe you're at odds with people in your life at the moment, and this is an opportunity for you to sit back, to be calm, to see things not only from your own perspective but from other people's perspective as well, to let your truth come through. Why is that person triggering you? Is it old woundings that still need to be healed, old traumas that still need to be let go of, to forgive so you can have a clean slate to start again? So Libra has the skill of two opposing truths, to understand both sides and to know that true justice prevails when the full truth is revealed. And sometimes we have to wait for that full truth. But if you're looking for a truth in someone else who just doesn't want to give it to you, and you feel that it's unjust, that you've been unfairly treated in some way, and we all have. When we stand on the toes of powerful people or people who think they're powerful, they can ruin our lives, they can ruin our careers, and I know how that feels. So what truths are coming up for you? Are they really true? We need to see the big picture, question everything within and around you, but not to disprove or to be right, but to understand it and decide if it's true for you. And if it's true for you, you have nothing to prove, because that's between you and the divine. And the new moon in Libra with this eclipse teaches us to monitor ourselves for self-observation, be the observer in all situations, and to restore calmness to your body, mind, and to your energy, mind, body, soul. Because one less angry person in the world is one good step forward for all mankind. Thanks, Buzz. Speaking of the truth. Paying attention to your intuition becomes much more easy when you're in disharmonious situations, when you are calm and you are measured and you are mindful. And it's really hard to do. Very hard to do when we're with people who really know how to get under our skin. So it's time to start practicing that. And the more you practice it in this eclipse, in this new moon energy, the more strength you will gain within that calmness, within that peace. It'll be more and more difficult for people to disrupt that peaceful energy within you. And that doesn't mean you can't laugh and cry and have fun, but when you feel that feeling of somebody said something, it's not quite right, you address that. Is that something from your past? Is it wounding? Or are they just, having a dig behind that sly smile? Stop for a moment and don't blame yourself. This says more about them than it does about you, as people project themselves onto us as mirrors, as we do them. So what are we projecting? And what's being projected onto us? Is that your truth? So being in your truth, being your authentic self, we're all wearing masks. It's time to take them off and just dare to be you. And first you have to find out who that you is. And think about your childhood when you were a child. It's a great place to start. What kind of child were you? Were you quiet and bookish? Were you rambunctious and running around like a crazy thing? Were you creative? What were these things? All children are creative, by the way. But, what were these things before the hurt and pain start to override your true nature? What are we projecting as being ourselves? The mask we are wearing in the world, what is that masking? What are we compensating for? You don't need to compensate or apologize for being your true self, because then you will find true people come to you, and you'll find your soul crew and your soul tribe by being in your truth. But that's quite a journey deep within the self, figuring out who you are. So you'll be able to pay stronger attention to your intuition in order to maintain a harmonious energy in the face of adversity. So the truth. True justice prevails when the full truth is revealed. So let's find out what this means for you through doing some oracle and tarot, and we can take it from there. Okay, I'm going to start with Moonology. I have so many cards that I have a bucket and I just pull out names, and they're the cards that I use. So sometimes we have quite interesting combinations. Okay, starting with Moonology. Blessings. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Final. Oh, look. You are good enough. New Moon in Virgo. So New Moon in Virgo is all about self-care. It's all about nurturing of the self. Taking care of the small details as well. Virgo is highly detail-oriented and highly organised. You don't need to be highly anything. Highly spiritual maybe. But you need to take care of the details of your life and nurture and care for yourself. That's part of finding the truth of who you are as well. How do you love and care for yourself? Do you love and care for yourself? And knowing that you are good enough is a great beginning. So it's all about, are you good enough? And yes, you are. And other people's lies and projections can make us feel less worthy. Difficult parents, difficult friends, just feeling like you're always on the outside. The Virgo energy is very measured. They're quite mindful. They're very good at just sitting back and observing everything. They don't get too overexcited. So this is a lesson for all of us. Knowing that you are good enough helps you to maintain calmness as well. Because when you don't feel good enough, then you're worried about what other people are thinking. And what other people are thinking is generally none of our business, is a good rule of thumb. So you are good enough is what Spirit wants to tell you. You are your own truth. You can find yourself amongst the layers of masking that you've created to protect yourself over the years, because you don't need to protect yourself anymore. That's a strong message. I've got chills saying that. You don't need to protect yourself because the divine all of light and good is protecting you. Your ancestors, the angelic realm, they're here now telling you how much they love you, how much protection that you have, as long as you're walking in your truth. Not seeking to hurt others, because we all hurt others because of their own truths or their own hurts, but it's not intentional. So be careful of your intention when you are trying to create a harmonious life within yourself and outside of yourself. There's a message that's coming through. One more. Oh, Oh, look, don't let the past hold you back. South Node. Look at your South Node. Like my South Node is in Capricorn, so probably in my past life I was a big business wheeler and dealer, probably had heaps of money, and now my North Node is in Cancer, which is all about family. Family, not just family, oh, to create a great family or to think that, you know, family is going to be fabulous. For me, it was learning how toxic and poisonous family can be and how not to pass that on to my own family. So, you know, it's an important lesson to look at your North and South nodes and not just see one side of it, think, oh, my life's all about happy family. No, it's to look at both sides, that your family can do things to you that you would never dream a family could do to you, and to come to terms with that and to realize that says more about them than you, to find that truth through that balance, through that justice. We also have you're very close to achieving your goal, Gibbous Moon, and nothing is set in stone. Now, nothing is set in stone is very, very important, because it means that you have every second, every minute of your life is a chance to change direction, is a chance to sit back and forgive yourself. Like, we walk through our day and we go, oh my God, I said it again, I did it again, oh my God, I'm an idiot. Like, people think, oh, people think, who cares what they think, like, you know, but not in a brash, uncaring way, like, you know, that's a protective mask as well. But just to stay calm in the moment and just to go, well, you know, they are who they are and I am who I am. And to know that you can be more calm next time, that you can look at that trigger and keep working on releasing it. As long as you're making strives to be your authentic self without fear and without masking, and without worrying about what other people think, you're a step closer to achieving your goal of being that calm, harmonious person, especially in times of trouble. Because when trouble rears its head, we need calm leaders. And maybe you will be that calm leader. Sorry, I had to change my battery. So yes, maybe you will be that calm leader in times of trouble. That's what you've been prepared for all this time. For true justice to prevail when the full truth is revealed. That's the time we need good leaders who are calm and balanced in their judgment and direction. You could just be leading your own family, your own children, your own friends, yourself, onto the path of peace. And when true truth starts to reveal itself, chaos ensues. Things get worse before they get better, as the powers of darkness try and cling to control. So don't let your own powers of darkness try and cling to control as you sweep away. What was it Jesus said? Satan, behind me. Get behind me, Satan. Yes. So and this is the Handel Tarot. Handel Tarot by Herman Handel. It's new. I've had the deck a long time, but I don't really use it very often. Work, 3 of Stones. So this is your mission. This is your job, working on yourself. 3 of Pentacles, collaborating with others harmoniously is very, very important. So within your work environment, within your home environment, find ways to collaborate. Try not to be caught in, you know, endless cyclic loops where no one can agree. Find a path forward. So this is part of your mission in life, if you've got this far, is to become that leader in your workplace. And leading doesn't mean standing on a podium or being in front. It just means that you lead by example. Don't let people ruffle your feathers. But also you could be very close to achieving your goal when it comes to work. with the Three of Pentacles. People are going to come forward and want your attention. They're going to want what you have to offer. So maybe you're creating something to do with harmony, you know, self-help books and things like this, or, you know, you're a communicator, but you're also going to, so you're going to be very successful in some kind of working environment as well. There's gum trees here. So there could be something here to do with nature, trees that you're working on. It could be new projects, that kind of thing as well. You're going to find your soul tribe within this as well. And there's also like boulders, digging like gems, or like, what do you call that? Geologists? Or something to do with geology, geologists, or that kind of thing. You could meet somebody in that field of work, or you could be in that field of work, or it could be to do with gemstones of some kind. And also the number 3 is important for you in some way. So if you see repeating 3s, you don't want to be seeing 333, just double 3, or 4 3s, not 3 3s. And the moon. So yeah, new moon in Virgo, and we've got a unicorn here. And we have the Scorpio. So the moon too. These are your dreams. These are the truths that are being revealed. The moon card talks about the veils between, you know, morning and night, between sleep and wakefulness, between the dream and the reality. So your dreams are going to become a reality, and nothing's yet set in stone. You may have started something and then just realized that maybe it's not the right time. This is my 3rd tarot channel in 4 years. I had a tarot channel called Emerson 36911. I had 11,000 plus subscribers, but I had set that channel up during a brutal awakening, and there was, although I helped a lot of people on that channel, there was so much of me in it that it kept tying me back to my past. So I stopped and started again, then set up another channel, and I still wasn't really ready, and now I feel ready. So it's okay to do that, and whatever's going to be will be. If only one person looks at look at the light flare. If only one person looks at this reading and it helps them, then I've achieved something wonderful, because that ripples, you know, that will ripple in their lives. So don't think that what you're doing is insignificant, is another message for you. So the moon, dare to dream. But there's also secrecy as well here with the moon. Keeping things to yourself. You know, be quieter and more composed. Let other people reveal themselves for who they are by staying in that calm disposition. The truth is revealed. People show themselves for who they are when you don't put yourself in it. And that can be hard when you're overcoming a lot of traumas and difficulties. So, 8 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups, leaving it all behind. But this card, it says failure. It's an 8. I mean, 8s are about power. But if we're doing things just for power, then it's set to fail. If we lead people into, you know, into chaos, then we're on the wrong path. We need to set a new path. So, and nothing is, like if you're trying in a good way, if your intentions have always been good, but you've had setbacks and difficulties because of your own woundings and healings that need to take place, then nothing's a failure. But it's time to walk away from feelings of failure as well. And the thing is, you can't drag people kicking and screaming into your way of thinking either. So you have to make sure, yes, put your message out there, but you can't force anything. So it's time to leave something behind. Perhaps you left some form of work that you're not really enjoying. Other people have made you feel like a failure. You feel like you failed. This is here to say you haven't failed. There's a part, you're on the right path. You just need to steady your emotions, put your baggage behind you, and keep moving forward. You don't have to feel good about things, you just have to feel calm. So Oh yes, disappointment in the past, you're enough. So 5 of Cups, you've been through a difficult period, there's been some dark times, looking back in regret. Look back in self-reflection instead, in a balanced way, to bring that truth. What's your truth? Don't bother trying to convince anything or anyone else. So you've had disappointments in your past, but this is saying don't let your past hold you back. And nothing is a failure. And you know, most successful people, whatever they're doing, they, in quotation marks, fail. You know, billionaires go bankrupt many times before they are successful. So it can be the same for the spiritual realm. And the Hermit, taking time out in solitude. So perhaps you have been isolated. You know, the divine keeps us isolated for a reason, and it's to dig into this. So when you get to the point of your isolation where you feel completely on your own, even in a crowd, when you get to that point of desperation of, how long do I have to be alone? How long, and all the prophets in the Bible are all screaming at God, aren't they, going, how long do I have to sit in this prison? Like, if you're still doing that, then it's not time for your release yet. You have to come to a position where you're alone but no longer feeling lonely, because you've realized that you are enough for yourself, that you have enough. And if you don't have enough, you still need to find that peace, balance and calm within yourself so that you can bring your abundance in. So these are the Sacred Site Oracle cards. So let's see what they have to say. Rapa Nui. Oh, Easter Island. Yes, you are protected because the heads of, the Rapa Nui of East, is it Easter Island? I think it is. They are put up to protect. They were protection totems and protection spirits. So know that you're protected. Know that you are protected. I'm going to read that card. They're so beautiful. So Hawaii could have something here, or the islands, or the South Pacific. I think we're going to see many more natural disasters, obviously. Like, they seem to be a massive occurrence. Blessings to all those people in America, Florida region, and I think there's a hurricane on its way to Spain, somebody said. So blessings to you guys for, for good fortune. I was going to read the card. So you are protected. You are safe. And Easter too could have something to do with you. Easter could be important. Okay, energy focus. There we go. This is what this reading's been all about. Focus, how we focus our energy, how we reveal the truth of who we are to ourselves and to others. So, yes, it is Easter Island. Can be viewed as the ultimate lesson for humanity. Over exploitation of the island's resources, spiritual pride and hunger for power. And this is where the failure comes in. If you're hungering for power in negative ways, or when you might have great intentions, people can get into positions of power and then they're corrupted because of larger forces that they didn't anticipate. So how do you conduct yourself in that situation is really very important. And this is why sometimes we find that the work we're in is not really conducive to a spiritual path. So like if you're working mining resources or something, then you're digging Mother Earth. That's negative karma coming, that's a negative industry. Yeah. So exploitation by Europeans, 1722. There is just one interpretation of the history of this sacred place. That's interesting. See, there's just one interpretation. Like history is written by the victors, isn't it? Or by the, people who want to look good in a good light, but you can never make colonization look good. So, and that again is exactly what we're talking about with this reading. Both sides are going to come forward. And I think that with all the videos about mud floods and resets and what's the civilization? What is it? Tangara. What's it called? oh, forgotten, you'll know, but you know, ancient civilizations that were already here with the big buildings and things like that. What's it called? Doesn't matter. Okay, you'll know. So they were erected in a time, in a world where everything was provided by the gods, by the earth, through luck, health, fertility, land and animals. And see, we're not self-sufficient anymore, so that gives enormous power to the powers over us, because, you know, we don't know how to be self-sufficient. So that puts us at the mercy. So maybe grow a garden. So it's a, sorry, whatever the truth of these tales, the message to you today is the same. Respect your past, but do not lose sight of the here and now. Don't accept a lesser life now in the belief it will be better in the future. A future that is not guaranteed. Yeah, so moving room by room, work through your home environment, asking yourself how useful, effective and energy efficient it is. So it's basically getting rid of the old, bringing on the new. Knowing that you're protected. Thinking about the past and how we lived and how subjugated we are now, because we're kind of like helpless little babies when it comes to our needs. When it comes, you know, we don't have, how do we survive without electricity? How do we survive without the internet? Oh, how do we survive without growing our own gardens and being able to feed ourselves? And that's the past. And you know how the powers that be have taken that away from the average person and through that subjugated us more and more. So it's kind of being able to live in that vulnerable state, be in that vulnerable state in every moment, knowing your truth and knowing that truth will prevail, that these people, there's a time here, you know, I think over the next 10 years in particular, where these negative powers that are gripping, you know, that are losing their grip, are going to throw out a last hostile blast. But what all of these smart people think, you know, about their own power, you know, when we talk about the powerful families or the powerful tech giants and the powerful people, Microsoft people, you know, they depict themselves as religious, as Christians or whatever. Bible is their, you know, is their world, because it's a, you know, they want the mystical secrets more than to follow the spiritual path. You know, these people who are summoning the demons, they forget that God and the divine God of light and love, is more powerful than them. So they will fall, and we have to be able to calmly move through it and help others calmly move through it, so that we're not reacting and not giving them our anger and fear, which is what they want. So knowing you're protected. So Hawaii here as well, you know, I think there are going to be a lot of volcanoes and earthquakes. You know, we have the Ring of Fire. I'm in Australia. There's the Ring of Fire there in the Pacific Ocean. So, you know, things are going to look pretty bad. So you need to find your own little piece of heaven and have faith that all will be well for you and your loved ones. Compassion, 27. So having compassion for yourself, privacy, you know, having your own quiet time for reflection. So, you know, no matter what terrible things we go through, we don't lose our empathy, our compassion. We come out more compassionate, we come out more empathetic, we come out more loving and forgiving and peaceful and calm, because we've been able to truly deal with our trauma and realize that our trauma was other people's trauma that they put onto us. And release, native geranium, release. Being flexible, that's what justice and balance is all about. And then Mia, finally, faith. So that all, and that's 29. So 29, 92, 2, 8, 21, 12, 27, 72, and there's 9, 3, and 11. So, you know, 11, if you're a life path 11, it's a spiritual path to be a spiritual leader, a spiritual teacher. But in order to be able to take that role, we need to be authentic to ourselves. We have to be able to live by what we've said. And that was the thing with my other channel. I was in so deep and dark in such a terrible way that I couldn't live by what I was preaching. Where now I can. Now I know what it's like to come to that peace. And I'm not always peaceful. I get triggered, but not as badly. And I don't spiral into negativity for as long. When I feel myself spiraling, I stop myself. When I feel that pang of something or from someone else, I stop and I become silent. I don't let my mind race, and I let it go. And then when I go home, I think about that. When I find that space, that peace, that privacy. So, you know, a final outcome for you. We'll just do one more. So the final outcome. So have faith. Oh, the end of a tough cycle approaches. Capricorn energy. So being flexible. Don't be rigid. Yes, be organized like Libra told us, Virgo told us. Be organized, but be flexible for change as well. Nothing set in stone. Everything can turn on a dime. Know that you are good enough. Know your truth. Be, you know, so you can relax in your own authenticity, knowing that there's nothing bad inside you. The darkness is gone. And then you can be that guide and leader for others and help them to get to their truth. And when you're dealing with people or situations or looking out into the world, you can see both sides of the story, and within that, trust your intuition to know what the truth really is. And other people's truth doesn't really matter. It's how it affects you and your world that's important. As I said, one less angry person in the world is a good thing, and that starts with us. Love and peace and compassion starts with us. We have to be those things in order to project those things. Yeah. Okay, so know that a tough end of a tough cycle is approaching for you personally, and then that will ripple to your family, letting go of all those people who don't want to come kicking and screaming on your spiritual path, or who don't want to see the light, or people you can't wake up. You can't wake anyone up. You can't force anything, because it's already there. It's already theirs. It's already yours. It's already meant to be. Like, it's not so much that it's predetermined. We can jump on another timeline. We can jump on another path. But we want that to be, you know, one rung higher than where we were. So that also means leaving things behind, sometimes people behind, and that's very difficult. Alright, love to you guys. I hope this reading helps. If you have enjoyed the reading and it's helped you in some way, please pay it forward by giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe, and then you can receive and hit that notification bell so we can come together again with another reading. And also share if there's somebody else, if this could be more to do with someone else in your life that could benefit from this, then please share this video. Love to all. Thank you.